Hello, and welcome to this introduction video on the Svelte for Beginners course. In the following videos, we'll take you through the fundamental concepts of Svelte with simple examples. So what is Svelte and what does it enable us to do? Svelte is a component-based JavaScript framework that helps us build highly performant user interfaces and web applications. Think of it as a layer on top of regular JavaScript that makes the process of building full web applications faster and easier. When we say component-based, it means the application is built up from multiple smaller units, called components. A component is something like a header, contact form, or a menu. And each component contains all the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript necessary for it to work. Component frameworks help us write applications by using the declarative programming model. In contrast, in programming languages like C or C++, we use the imperative model, where we describe the control flow of a computation and explicitly list the exact steps it should take. With the declarative model, we describe the desired outcome, where we just have to tell Svelte what we want the UI to look like, and it will take care of the rest. So why would we want to use Svelte instead of another major framework like Vue or React? Svelte doesn't use a virtual DOM like other popular frameworks. Instead, Svelte has a compiler that converts the code we write into client-side JavaScript when we build the application. There's no need to bundle the framework code with the application, so the bundle size is smaller, making the upload faster. Technically, we write our code in what is essentially an HTML file with a .svelte extension. Svelte's compiler turns this into an abstract syntax tree, giving us a JavaScript class that we can import into the application. The initial state is in the markup instead of DOM objects, so it's cheaper and loads faster. Then it tracks changes to top-level component variables and updates only the affected parts of the DOM, rather than re-rendering an entire component. To put it simply, if we use Svelte as our framework, the end result is much smaller and faster. So how easy is Svelte to learn if you're a beginner? While Svelte is the easiest of all the major frameworks to learn, it depends on what you already know. Before starting with Svelte, you should know at least the basics of HTML, CSS, and modern JavaScript. In fact, the more ES6 features you know, the easier it will be to learn and use it. The videos in this course are primarily aimed at beginners with no knowledge of Svelte or JavaScript frameworks in general. But, if you're a more experienced developer that's coming from another framework like Angular or React, you may also find them useful. That concludes this introduction for the Svelte Beginners course. In the next video, we'll set up a development environment and create our first Svelte application. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again in the next one.